I feel like I can't even breathe right now because I just had like this moment of realization, like this bone chilling thing just happened, and I'll explain. Okay, so follow me. All right. Last year, I went to Disney with my family, okay? Oh, wait, we went to Universal. All right, do you ever feel like you're on like the Truman Show and then you just like are starting to be like, oh my gosh, okay, I had that moment. Yeah, so anyways, we went to Universal, and they have the Back to the Future there. Okay, so we were walking in the shop, and my brother was so adamant about like going to this one shop. So we went in there, and it was Back to the Future. I looked at this plaque. Let me go get the plaque. Okay, I can't find it anywhere. I like don't know how, because me and my brother both have one, because we all bought like one because it was mind blowing. I'm sorry. I just think this is really weird. Okay, so I know that's a popular movie, but just follow me. Okay, so we walk into the store, and on the plaque it has October, so we were there 26th. I don't know. So it said October 26th, 1/23. I don't know. And regardless, it was literally the same day that we were there. Granted, not the same year, but we were there October 26th, yada, yada, yada. And at the time that was on the plaque is whenever my brother and my dad took a picture in front of the Back to the Future car. And we were like, whoa. So we went up to the counter and we were like, oh, does this like change every day? And they were like, no, what are you talking about? And we looked it up, and that day is the day that they went back to the future. But it was just a different year. But they went back to the future at that day, which was October, 26th, and at that time. Which I could be lying about, like, the days, but regardless, the specific day that we were there in that shop was the same day that he went back to the future, and at that time. Which we were like, this is really weird. I feel like we're in, like, something going on. And then this week, I've been thinking about my passions and whatever, and I opened up this magazine. And I just felt called to read it, and it was about, you know, all these cool makeup looks and yada yada, and the cool TV shows and movies and icons. And then you open up to Back to the Future, and I'm like, stop. What is up with this? Now today I've been connecting with God. I was like, you know, I really want to get in depth again, get in the Word. And this is a Touchpoint Bible. I've had this since I was like a kid. And then this is even weirder. And this happened this week, where last year was the whole Back to the Future thing. This week I opened up and read about the Back to the Future in the magazine that I was looking at. And then now, a few years ago, there was a popular series of movies called Back to the Future. My bones got chilled when I read that, because I'm like, what's going on? And you might be like, what a coincidence. You know, I don't believe in coincidences. This is what, like, God's like, I know I'm going to get your attention if I throw this word out here. And he got my attention. But it's the principle of behind Back to the Future is what I'm trying to get at. Because I feel like right now, with what everybody's going through and what's going on, is we're going back to the future, to the principles of what matters. Follow. That would be a good life, or a good title for 1 Chronicles. The Bible. Hold on, I'm just like too hyper. Let's skip forward so that way I can get my message across. Now the day was dawning. The captivity was over. It was time to plan and build for the future. And I feel like we're going through a rebuilding process to build for a more productive and peaceful and unified future. It was time to plan and build for a future. The book of 1 Chronicles was written after Israel and Judah were destroyed and taken captive. Now looking forward to returning to their homeland and starting over, the writer chooses first to look back and tell the story of how the people got into this mess in the first place. By looking at the past, maybe they could avoid the same mistakes in the future. Are you facing a new day, a new chapter in your life? Are you on the other side of a long night of family problems, money problems, school problems, or other problems? Are you now ready to move ahead to the future? Stop, remember, reflect, look back before you look ahead. Look back so that the future becomes clearer. Remember your heritage and how God led you to this point. Remember your roots and how they have impacted your life. Learn from the mistakes and successes of others, especially as they relate to their walk with God. Reflect on God's wonderful ways of working in your life. Look back so that you can look forward, and then the future won't seem so uncertain. The principle behind Back to the Future is that we're all meant for our specific time. And we can't go back and change history, or we can't go back and change a certain things and it will change the future. But we're all specifically meant to be here right now for a specific purpose. The other theme in the movie is that we're all here for a specific part and path in the plan of life, and that we don't change, that God has a plan already in place for our lives, and we have to stick it through and keep going along with that plan that God has in place for us. Marty was a risk taker, okay? He was ambitious. He got things done. He lived to the fullest to get to where he wanted to go and what he wanted to happen. And we have to live that same way. We have to live with purpose. We have to live with this thought behind it that we're going to end up at this specific place and have this specific future. Every little action is very important, so take the risk. Also, at the root of everything is that where we come from is a part of us. So you need to embrace it and appreciate your past and appreciate the past and strive to be the person that you want to be and have the future that you want to have, and also just appreciate the loved ones that you have. Yes. I don't know about you, but I know I can stay stuck, stagnant, and live in my own misery and overthinking, and that creates depression. But we need to keep on shining and take the risk and live the life to the fullest, because we're always going to end up exactly where we need to be at the exact right time, and that's always how it was supposed to play out.